No, 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 no. Someone said they were actually getting joke off my intro, my Breakfast Club intro. Someone actually picked up on it. Chris Murdy, my Scottish DJ friend.
Big up Chris Murdy. New settings. It's
New
been
settings,
we've
man.
had a hiatus.
It feels nice and bright in here. I like it, man. I like it.
Is this season 2 now? Are we on season?
Yeah, this is the upgraded the upgrade of season 1. This is like when you get the extension on the end, a couple extra episodes in there, isn't it?
Yeah. So we definitely obviously need to address the fact that the last 2 Wednesdays were not. There's someone's trying to
Someone's trying to kick the door down.
Incredible Hulk's trying to get in. That's the mob outside, basically. They're trying to bang the door down because we haven't put an episode out for a couple of weeks now.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Basically, I was leaving the club and I got a flat tyre. I got a puncture, I should say, because I have run flats on the car. So I managed to make it home.
This is what he says happened. I don't actually know if this is true or not.
That's why I rolled up in a different car today, bruv. That was 2 weeks ago, yeah. I just want to say the car company involved, fuck it, I'm going to hot them up. BMW have taken 2 weeks to not change the wheel on my car. They still have it.
See, guys, German cars are not the one.
It's just a flat tyre. That's all it is. You just need to replace the tyre.
You've had a mare, to be fair.
Literally, I could have done it quicker with a toothbrush and a spoon. And they've taken 2 weeks and the wheel's still on the car. So, yeah.
So that was the reason. It's a good enough reason.
And it's because we record this podcast in Manchester and I'm in Maidstone. And I sort of forgot that trains existed as well. So I could have got the train up, but I didn't.
No.
But anyway, obviously we have conflicting schedules as well. Things are going mad.
We're busy guys, bruv. Like, so we're kind of like squeezing it in the gaps a little bit. And obviously it's approaching summer now. So
yeah,
you know what it's like, bro. Summertime for DJs. Everything gets a bit hectic. Traveling, bookings. Like, we're doing other side hustles. You're doing a studio. Like, I've just finished my studio. Creative, like, yeah, it's all a bit mental, man. But we're here, we're back.
I made
Couldn't leave you for too long.
I made it.
Doubles back in the ends.
Yeah, the car I'm driving at the moment is disgusting, bro.
You're driving in like
it's like a BMW.
It's like one of them family estates.
Ford Galaxy, but it's the BMW.
You know, like you see like Jane and Bill driving on the local street in the ends. You know what I mean?
You're next to like Steve and Carol with their 3 kids in the back and their
going
dog.
Out in the Passat today.
Yeah, they've got their Labrador in the boot. Oh, but we're here. Talkover is back in the building. I'm happy. So
a lot's gone on in the last 2 weeks, you know.
There's been a lot of topics we're going to be covering, I think. But the first one I spoke to you, actually, we were going to cover this 2 weeks ago, so it's kind of not such a hot pressing topic right now, but it is something that I actually wanted to talk about is, as DJs, should we be banning artists from our club shows, from our playlists, from our radio shows for fuckery behaviour?
So this has come from the back of who was it?
R. Kelly.
Kelly.
And
that was it.
Triple X Tentacle Man or whatever.
Yeah.
Triple
How would you say that guy's name?
Extenation. I think.
Extenation.
I think, but
extension. Plug. Extension cord.
But let's not get confused with 2-3 though.
Horse.
But yeah, Triple X Tenstenation.
Yep. I don't know about that guy's music, man. I've seen that R. Kelly situation online, and obviously he's had his issues.
Yeah. So Spotify, for the people that are super late, obviously we're not hot off the heels on it, but Spotify removed R. Kelly's music from their playlist. Not from Spotify, it's still on there on his page, but they removed it from any playlist. So any like sexy time playlists or R&B greats, it's in none of their playlists. So it's
just off the Spotify playlist.
But if you search for R. Kelly, you can... Excuse me, you can still find his music and stream it through Spotify. It's just not on the playlists. Okay. But actually, this isn't where the conversation stems from. I had a conversation about 3 weeks ago with an artist who came up and he requested Feed 'em to the Lions. Now, this is where it gets deep.
It's about to get deep.
It's because Solo 45's in prison at the moment.
Yep. I know the story.
And it was all in the papers, so I'm not dry snitching here.
Yeah.
He was arrested. I don't think he's been charged as yet. I mean, he's been charged, but I don't think he's been tried as yet. But 29 counts of rape. So for me, I'm like, that's horrendous, bro. We're getting deep now in the podcast already, but that's horrendous. And for
we
me,
had a 2 week break, so let's not hold back today.
Well, so my personal stance on it, is I'm not going to support the man's music. Like that's there's not even words to explain that kind of crime. Do you know what I mean? Like those 29 counts, bruv. Like,
it's a tough one, man, because you know what it's like in today's society. It's innocent until proven guilty, isn't it? And until you're actually proven.
Yeah.
Like
29 though.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, yeah. Okay, I'm aware I'm throwing him under the bus, and I might
fed into the lions, literally.
Yeah, but further down the line, there might be like a public apology. This might get me in trouble, etc. But this is my personal feeling. So a guy came to the club, and he was like, "Can you play Freedom to the Lions?" Da, 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 da. And I was like, "No." And then he was like, "Why not?" And so here I am in the club, suddenly finding myself having to justify why I'm not going to play it. And I explained it to him. I was like, "Bruv, the guy was arrested. This is what for. I don't feel that I don't feel like I want to be supporting the music of someone that does that thing." But then you know what? I kind of realised I was a little bit hypocritical with that, because I'm more than happy to play a Vybz Kartel set. Like, not just a Vybz Kartel record. I will play a Vybz Kartel
double standards,
set.
that double.
Yeah, it is kind of hypocritical. So, for those that don't know, again, Vybz Kartel's in jail for about 35 years for murder. Not just murder, I mean like weapons charges, drugs charges. And then it got me really deep in my brain, was like, rah, so he's a murderer. Like, he actually properly killed someone, but he makes bangers. I'll play his music because it bangs.
And still puts out bangers from the
and
cells,
still,
mate.
even still now. But then Solo 45 hasn't even been convicted, and I'm sort of, that's my reasoning there. So yeah, I'm going to put my hands up and be like, it is a bit of a hypocritical stance.
So why support a murderer?
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly.
But not a rapist. Well,
that's the conversation I've been having with myself in my head about, like, which is why I wanted to bring it to the podcast and put it to you and put it to the community, the people that are watching it. We've got a large amount of DJs watch this, and have the conversation of, should we be banning artists? Like, is it what they do in their personal life and outside the studio compared to the art? Like,
I think it's got to be. I think you've got to nip it in the butt before it gets to Spotify. These artists shouldn't be allowed to put out music. Like, at the end of the day, it comes from a label. It comes from like an A&R. Like, if then people are fucking with these artists when they're under charges for this, maybe not. I mean, not trialed yet, not proven guilty or whatever, but people are still messing with them. So why allow them to put out this music? Allow them to have this fan base, and then pull the rug from underneath them. You're basically saying, oh yeah, we're going to let you have all the money, we're going to let you have the fame, we're going to let you make the music, we're going to let you put it out there, but we're not going to put you on our Spotify playlist. But we're going to let you stay on the platform anyway. R. Kelly's getting more plays.
Yeah, you
since they've pulled him from the playlist.
I mean, it's kind of,
it's like
him hitting the headlines, bruv. It's promotion, really.
He's sat there getting, like, obviously it's bad press, but bad press is good press in some situations.
Yeah,
he's probably still thriving.
I think to answer your question, it's not a case of letting them get onto the platform, because more times we might not know. Like, I don't know if R. Kelly was doing this stuff before he was famous, but it's only all come to light because he is famous. He's not the only person on planet Earth doing this stuff. But we don't hear about them other guys because they're not famous people. So the music's already out there. The fame has already been brought to them. But then it is a case of, do we ban them? Like, are we as DJs supposed to ban them because, like, well, look, you've really done that. Like, that's a horrible crime. You've done it, so I'm not.
This sounds pretty bad, man. I got to be completely honest. Like, that doesn't cross my mind, man. Like, I've been playing. Like, I grew up on West Coast hip hop. Like, these men were shooting each other for banter. Do you know what I mean? That was like when hip hop beef was real.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But music was still popping. People were still playing their stuff. Like, it sounds bad, man. It sounds like I'm just like fully neglecting like the issue. But the last thing that comes to my mind when I listen to an R. Kelly song, the last thing that comes to my mind is him doing what he's been up to or supposedly been up to.
Not just R. Kelly, bro. It's exactly like you say.
There's a handful of artists.
Rap music in general.
Look at Bobby Shmurda. How long he dropped the hot rhythm, and then I swear he went jail within a couple of months.
Bro, I think that song was basically listing everyone that he's killed.
Like,
and that's the thing.
I'm a hot boy, come and arrest me.
I know, basically, like, he just hotted himself up. But again, that tune banged in the club. So what he's talking about there, we're playing. And again, if you bring it to Skepta, his line, like, God forgive me if I bust my nine. Like, he's talking about shooting guns.
I think a lot of people take the lyrics and not actually absorbing fully what they're saying.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
And they're just repeating these words and they're singing along to these songs, but whether they're actually regurgitating the content for what it is, like Skepta saying that, I bet you that's probably going over a lot of people's heads. The everyday listener is not thinking, oh yeah, I'm Skepta busting 9. Like they're probably they're just singing along. Like I don't think the everyday listener looks at that deep. Maybe for DJs, obviously we get it, we understand.
I don't know any. I've had this conversation with a few DJs, and generally I seem to be the only person that is like, yeah, we do need to like not ban. No, sorry, we do need to ban artists for fuckery. I haven't met anyone else that has that opinion. They're like, you know what? They make bangers. I'm here for the music. I'm not here for the other stuff.
There's one thing banning them from the clubs as DJs, but then like banishing these people are still going to flourish just because of the power of social media.
Yeah, but I mean, I just mean like.
So we could boycott. We can obviously boycott them.
Yeah.
But whether that's not going to solve the problem.
No, and I'm not even saying like collectively we need to be like, right, everyone get together, no one play this song.
Yeah.
I just mean personally, like, I haven't found any other DJs that have thought, oh, you know what? Well, yeah, such and such did this, so I'm not going to play their music for that reason. Okay. They literally just, the general consensus is, it's a fucking banger, so I'm going to play it because it bangs. But I mean, then going back from past episodes, we know like, I don't play music I don't like. I'm a selfish fucker.
Yo, everywhere, bro. Everywhere I go now, yeah, people are on me about this playing songs that you don't like in the club. Yeah. Because of that conversation. I get parred regular now because of this podcast.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not happy, bro. Not happy.
We could actually, you know what?
It always pops up in my WhatsApp.
I do. I want to skip off topic real quick because while it's in my head, there was something I said in an early podcast which I want to address. And it was about DJs that have day jobs. Oh
yeah, see this one.
No, so what I said was
Excuse me, guys, I'm not eating today, so
help yourself, bro. What I said in the podcast, the early podcast, was if you have a 9-to-5 job that's not in the music industry, then you're not a DJ basically. But I didn't mean it as harsh as it sounds because people got onto me about that, and there was a lot of DJs hitting me on my DM like. You could tell they must have a day job and they DJ.
Only people that have a day job got rattled about that.
So
I get where you came from.
I want to clarify what I meant. And I didn't mean you're not a proper DJ if you have a day job. But what I do mean is you're not a career DJ.
Yep.
And by that, I make a living off DJing.
Well, you're essentially a part-timer.
Yeah, basically.
You're doing half DJ and half day job.
Yeah. And so my thing about that is, if you have a day job and it's not in the music industry, so you work, my example that I gave before was insurance or working on the phones, or you might be a mechanic or you might be whatever, but you DJ at the weekends, then yeah, cool, you're a DJ, of course, because you're DJing, but you're not a career DJ. And by that, I mean someone that puts everything into this as a business.
Yep.
And the reason I look at the people that have ordinary jobs differently is because they don't rely on the income from DJing to survive. They have their 9-to-5, Monday to Friday. They go to the office, earn their cash, and at the weekend, they just go out and do whatever because they've got the job. So the reason that they're different to what I consider career DJs is because those are the people that are driving the price down for DJing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense.
This might be a whole nother conversation opening up in a whole new podcast.
A whole different
suddenly
conversation.
Trying to get away from
this can be the next episode.
Yeah. But no, my point being, like, they're the ones that have the option to go out for low fees because they don't rely on the money for DJing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it's true, man. Because they don't have to. They don't have to make up the extra cost in it. So
exactly.
I can go out for £50 because I'll make £300 in a week doing my day job.
Exactly. That's exactly. And that was my point. So I'm
it
not
just like waters it down a bit, isn't it?
Yeah, and I'm not getting at anyone for that. Like, I respect everyone's hustle. I respect you more if you have a 9-to-5 and you're DJing, because I used to do that and I know how hard it is to do the 9-to-5 and then be out at nighttime DJing. Like, so I do maximum respect for people doing that. But there is a difference between someone that's doing it just for a bit of fun.
I'm a part-timer now then.
No, well, no, because no, it's different.
I always had a day job anyway because I was DJing full time, and I was just using that time to create. But obviously, that creating has turned into a creative business.
It's different. I mean, I'm running events and I'm doing studio work and stuff, which isn't technically DJing, but it's all built around DJ double, and the bulk of my income comes from doing 4 or 5 club shows a week.
Yep.
Same with you. Majority of your income comes from
it's
DJing.
the bookings, yeah,
and
man.
it's all based around
Starting
stylists
to level
as
up
a DJ.
though. Jeez.
Yeah, but I mean, you know my point. Anyway, so
I hear you.
that's me just actually defending myself against the barrage of comments.
The
of people
YouTube police.
that I upset. So I'm sorry if I upset
Dicks.
you.
No, I'm only joking.
Dick. Sorry if I'm not fucking sorry. No, I am. I am sorry if I upset. I'm not sorry. I don't care. Actually,
Right, it won't be as bad as the controller debate, mate.
I don't care if I upset you, but that's my explanation.
Back
nothing
to
against you.
artists on Spotify.
That was a proper left curve, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
that
I
was
had
a
to get it
that
out of
was
the
a
system.
that was a
So yeah,
curveball.
banning artists. I am the only person on planet Earth that seems to cut artists out of my playlist for fuckeries, but I'm a hypocrite because I only ban certain crimes.
You just and because his music's pretty pants. Vibes Cartel makes rhythm.
You know what? That could be.
But
that could be part of it.
Yeah, it's part of it because you're telling me if Solo made like UK anthemic bangers, obviously Into Lions is semi in that category a little bit just for the gas that it creates.
It's not a good song, but it's
not a good song, but it's a gas,
energy
isn't it?
mosh pit.
But
song.
if
I
he had
played it
a
at
back
festivals,
catalogue
but
like a Vibes back catalogue, for example, obviously not that style of music, but you know what I mean, that same wave, he's got bare rhythm.
Yeah.
I reckon we'll be talking about it in a completely different light. But then again,
so it just begs the question then, why do artistic artists and why do these people get a pass musically for doing these crimes? Why is it that Vibes Cartel has killed someone, but it's you know what, he plays bangers,
this is what I'm saying,
he makes bangers.
This is what I'm saying. It's got to be stopped before it even reaches these platforms. They're still being given the output.
Yeah.
So it's like,
no, but he's been Vibes Cartel for years.
Yeah, he has, but then lock him off then. If my man's a murderer.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So
don't let him put music on Spotify. Like, don't let him put his don't let it like there to download, there on the flipping DJ City, there on this, like whatever, it's around everywhere. Don't make it accessible then.
Yeah.
It needs to be cut off. That's the only way to stop that, is cut it off at the root, innit? If my man's been done for murder and he's then you can't expect people to boycott it or like stop supporting and whatever else when it's out there everywhere. Do you know what I'm saying?
It's
like,
mad.
It makes it impossible. It's basically like semi-glorifying. You're not glorifying a murderer, but basically saying it's okay for this guy to still be in the public eye and make peas inside jail.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah. I
reckon Vibes will have a studio in his cell, mate. He's got that place on Smash.
It wouldn't surprise me.
There's rhythms coming out every week. Where are they coming from?
But I do know that he, leading up to his incarceration,
he just went ham in the studio.
He was recording like 10 records a day.
Okay.
Because he actually knew that it was coming. He knew something was happening. Without going too deep into it, like, he was releasing a lot of statements. There was a reason he was bleaching his skin. There was a reason he got tattooed.
I don't know
everywhere.
the full story of the Vibes thing. I've read bits and that.
I do believe he released a book just before he went away as well.
Okay.
And really put himself in the public eye because, and his explanation, if I remember rightly, was as a voice of the ghetto, basically, as a voice of the poor people.
Yeah.
The rich people and the system didn't want him to be speaking out. So he knew that he was going to be put in jail. And you know, around his arrest, like, there was loads of evidence tampering and phones were going missing and all sorts. Like,
where was he sentenced? In Yard?
Yeah, he was in Jamaica. He's in jail in Jamaica. But like, the whole court case was very, very like weird.
Suspect.
But again, that's maybe like a different conversation.
I'll be honest, man. I'm not gonna stop playing these songs if they're bangers.
Yeah.
Like, just for the same reason why they're allowed to put all their shit out anyway. So why should we stop? If it I don't think it'll make a difference whether we boycott them or not. Like, I'm a DJ trying to support the music, man. Maybe whether that's wrong or right, I don't know.
Yeah.
But like you say, you're probably one of the only people that I know of that will say, "Yo, I'm not playing my man stuff because he's on trial for this or whatever." Like, it's a touchy one. I think that just goes down to personal belief, man. Like, if you feel like you shouldn't be backing this guy, then I mean, remove him from your set. I gotta be honest, like, I don't think that deep about it. Like, I don't. I like R. Kelly, no matter what he's done. I might not like him as a person. I like his music. Michael Jackson, that's a different story. Love his music, love him. If he's done whatever he's done, I don't know. Like, same Vibes, Solo, like, plenty of artists, like
countless.
Countless.
It's happened to a lot of people. From there's even rumors about Wiley and stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot, but I don't know. It's just It is just baffling to me, and I don't think there is an answer, because if it happens, so okay, Vybz Kartel's been arrested and found guilty for murder, so let's ban his music and the back catalogue, everything leading up to that. So what do we do? Just erase him from the history of music? That's impossible.
But it's even like you could take, but then you look at other artists that have like had the run-ins with drugs, like people like Amy Winehouse and all that. Like, it's illegal. Yeah. But it's glorified in the music game. Everyone's rapping about it, singing about it, lean this, lean that, weed, drugs, pills, Molly, Percocet, whatever is going on. Everyone's still supporting and glorifying that. Yeah. So, obviously, it's not murder, it's not rape, it's a different thing, but it's illegal activities, man. Like, it's like, I don't know, man. I can't explain it. It's weird. It's like music makes it semi-acceptable for people to talk about this shit in public. Yeah. Like, imagine I went to my job and started talking about that. All that stuff, that content. You're out the door. But we can put out a song saying, we're in the club this weekend, we're popping mollies, and I'm getting rich. It's the game we're in now, man. That's where the music game's at. Like, a lot of these artists are glorifying all this. Like, it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy, mad. Bro. It's everyone. People just got ultimate freedom of speech now, and just get what they can out of the game, I guess. Content, I don't think it's really affecting what people are supporting. I don't think, like I said earlier in this podcast, the everyday listener ain't thinking about it that deep. No. Maybe not even taking in what's getting said in half of these songs, and they're rapping along to it. Like, you could say to the everyday person, you probably don't even know what a Molly or a Percocet is. Yeah. Not only that, just like singing along with it kind of thing anyway.
That's the thing, bro. No, I totally agree, man. They I think half the people in the clubs, they're singing the lyrics without even really deep in what they're singing. And
the Kendrick thing with the girl saying the N-word in that show the other day, like, I reckon that was pure accidental, and like, because she's not even thinking about the content of the song. She's not thinking, if I say this word, all this is gonna go mad. Like, I'm not saying it's right, but I semi-felt sorry for that girl. Obviously, Kendrick shot himself in the batty there. But it's just like, that was a prime example of someone not listening to the content. Like, she knows that word is not right for her to say it. Yeah. Because it's in the song and it's out there. She's just got on stage and said that. And she's done it again after she's been told not to and booed, and went and done it again still. 'Cause, like, these people, they don't think about it that deep.
Yeah, you know what it is? Actually, Charlemagne talked about this as well. I saw his clip online. And he was saying basically, like, she must have just got on the stage and just forgotten that she's not in her car. Because if it's one of her favourite songs, she's gonna sing the words.
She's not even crossed her mind.
And actually, Charlemagne said, so I'm not taking credit for counting this, he said that the N-bomb is in the song 21 times.
There you go.
And like, that's a weird scenario for me. But like, okay, here's another example as well of that. Freaky Friday. There's that sentence.
I'm glad you brought this up, because this has been a conversation the last couple of weeks, actually.
Yeah, so Chris Brown says it. In the radio edit, they changed it to Winner. Yeah. But he says it.
Is that what it says?
He says it 5 times in the same bar.
It says Winner.
Yeah, in the radio edit. But it's the N one.
I'm that winner.
Yeah.
Winner.
But bruv, do you know how many times I'm playing in clubs that are like,
bruv,
big
I want
clubs,
to jump out the booth and slap people.
But they're singing it at the top of their voice.
I know, because they're not even thinking.
But then Chris Brown's singing it, and it's Little Dicky's record. Yeah, Little Dicky's White.
I know. But imagine Lil Dicky starts saying that on the record. Imagine the backlash, bruv, if he starts dropping the M-bomb all over that record. Yeah. We're obviously in different bodies in that. So he could have styled it if he thought about it.
Nah, Little Dicky as Little Dicky can't say it.
Yeah, bruv. That song.
Okay, so this I don't know where we're going with this conversation now,
I don't, but I like it.
Takeshi's Castle 69. Right? He's where is he? Is he Puerto Rican? Puerto Rican, right? I think he's Puerto Rican. He's not black.
The guy said,
but he's allowed to say it.
69.
Fat Joe says it, but he's allowed to say it. Like in America, I mean, it's.
Does he? Is 6ix9? I don't actually know where he's from, man.
Yeah, I think he's Puerto Rican, but I'm looking it up now. I'm not connected.
Don't tell me you like that guy.
I'm not connected to the internet.
Don't get me started on this guy.
Well, you probably play him straight after Gucci Gang.
No. I don't actually have any of 6ix9ine songs. I do like one of the songs. One. I can't even remember what it's called, but my boy Tyrese played it to me the other day. I was like, yo, this one sounds...
Daniel Hernandez. He's definitely Spanish-American.
Yeah,
he's Puerto Rican. His mum's Mexican. According to Wikipedia, his mum's Mexican, his dad's Puerto Rican. So he's not black.
And he's dropping it all over his records as well.
Yeah. I mean, that's again, we're covering like 400 conversations in this podcast today.
No, it's cool, man. But, it's because we've not spoke for weeks, innit? So it's all good.
That's mad. But
the Chris Brown song, I'll be honest, man. Like, I've got a big mark on my trainers, man. Pressure. I'm not a fan of when people use that word in a club.
Paris, Jay-Z and Kanye. Yeah. Do you know how many people
people come up and ask for it and go,
Jane from Oxford.
Can you play in Paris?
Yeah.
And I'm looking at them and I go, what?
I've got Jane from Oxford coming up and saying it.
Jane from Oxford.
Sarah from Camden.
Margaret from Maidstone.
Exactly. They're all coming and saying it and asking me for it. Like, use your common sense.
Yeah, they actually come up though and ask for the song and say the word like to your face. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. I've had some weird situations up with songs like that. Like, what was the other one? The other hip hop song, man, and it was called
YG,
yeah.
My Hitter.
Yeah, like that was another one. People come up.
I had that conversation when I interviewed YG. Actually, I had a really good conversation with him about that exact same thing.
Name dropping.
DJ Double TV. No, but we brought it up because I said, "How do you feel about white people saying it?" And his answer was, in the context of the song at the performance, cool. Right. But don't come up to me afterwards and be like, "Yo, what's up, man?" Like, can't run.
Right, so Chucky spoke about this.
Yeah.
On his podcast the other day. Big up Chucky and Poet. Check that podcast out because it is dope. He was saying he doesn't mind it in the music. He can tolerate it. Do you know what I mean? In the music as part of the song. But people that are using it in everyday language and say it away from that, like, it just makes his head fall off.
Yeah.
And like I agree. Like, I can tolerate it in the music. I despise the word. It makes me feel sick when I hear it. Like, I can tolerate it in music. Do you know what I mean? I get how it's part of like rap culture and it's been used since forever and whatever, and I get that. But yeah, I think I'm on Chucky's stance with that stuff.
Yeah, I agree. Don't
use the N-word.